Little update on my Cummins engine. I finished the turbo, and just to kind of rehash this, it's a kit from Turbo Labs, where this is a WH1C, so W meaning wastegated, H1C is the original turbo, so this is not the original, but it's the original style series. So what this one does is the original turbo was 54 millimeters, and then we changed the compressor wheel to a 62 millimeter, so it's a lot bigger airflow. It'll be a lot more torque. It won't spool up quite as fast, but it's going to more air. Good stuff. More air, more fuel, more fun. Now, the only modifications that I had to do to this to get it to fit together was I did have to take this back plate of the compressor housing, and I had to put in my lathe and turn off a little bit. So as you can see, the other side here is a little thicker than this side, so I had to take about 60 thousandths off to be able to get the clamp on. And there's plenty of material there, so I'm not worried. But that was something that was just kind of like, really? But I got a lathe, so it's no big deal for me. I did like the kit, though. It turned out nice. As far as paint and all that, this is a 3-piece manifold. These go for like $600-700 online. They're expensive, but I'd been waiting and waiting and waiting. I knew exactly what I wanted. Found a guy on Marketplace who had one. He was selling. I bought the turbo and the manifold for $600. Well, I mean, that's a pretty dang good deal, so no problems there. Saved a lot of money. There's nothing wrong with it, no cracks or anything. And so then I took it to Caps Powder Coating in Fresno, and I had them ceramic coat it. So this stuff is good for about 2,000 degrees. This is their Glacier Silver. And then I got the closest red that would match, and I had this powder coated. I want this to last forever and look nice. And so all in all, I think the manifold and the turbo, all the colored parts, cost just a touch over $300. So a little pricey, but it's going to look good, and it's going to stay looking this good for the rest of its life. Now, I did tune the wastegate on this one, and I just put air into here, and I found that I wanted 30 psi out of this, but the wastegate diaphragm runs out of travel. So I made the wise decision, I think, of it's going to be 26 psi, because if I have it at 30, it just barely opens. So same thing as what I did on my injector pump. I just kept pushing in air, and I'd say I've got about 3 threads showing here. So it's not quite all the way out, but the wastegate, it just, the cap wouldn't open at 30 pounds. Even if I put 40 pounds, it just ran out of travel. So 24, 26 pounds is kind of where that wastegate's going to start opening. And opens all the way up to about 30, and then it bottoms out. So it's going to be good. That's still double of what the stock was. And then I put in freeze plugs, brass. I always do brass or silver, stainless. I never put in mild steel plugs. Let's see, I don't know if there's anything else as far as turbo stuff. I wanted to do an in-depth build of this, but I did it over New Year's, and I just didn't. We were up at a cabin up in the mountains, and I just didn't feel like filming and taking my camera stuff, so I didn't do any of that. But you saw it coming apart, and it goes together the same way. And as far as on this side, I decided to put a billet tappet cover. And the reason why I chose that is because the original, they say that they just warp and don't seal. I don't want to take chances on this motor, so I really don't want to fix oil leaks 20,000 miles down the line. So there's many options online for these. There's Thoroughbred Diesel, and there's a bunch of other manufacturers who make them, but they all want $300 for these, and that's ridiculous. And I like to support American companies who make stuff here, but it was just this. I got it on eBay for $55. I know it comes from China, but when it's aluminum, it's gonna work great, and yeah, it just looks fantastic. Adds a little bit of bling to it, and that's gonna just one less thing to worry about. So this motor's just about done. I'm figuring out transmissions. Let me know what your favorite transmission is for this. Right now I'm leaning towards a ZF6 that came out of a 6-liter power snot, and I'm leaning towards that because they're supposed to handle 500 foot-pounds. That's what they're rated for, but everyone gets way more than that out of those transmissions. The NV4500, it looks like I'm gonna have to build it up too much to be able to handle this. This should put about 750 foot-pounds. And I'm also tempted to look for a Eaton Fuller 8406 FSO, with the overdrive. It's got to have overdrive. I'm looking at that, but it looks like they're hard to find, but that would be the absolute most bulletproof transmission. So let me know what you've done, what you've liked, what you've disliked. That's kind of the next step on this thing, is transmission. So yeah, go ahead and comment, and maybe we'll talk about that and see what we're gonna do. All right, well, thank you very much, and this project's kind of gonna come to a pause for a little while until I get things going. So thanks for watching. See you next time.